Oh shit. What is going on? To my replay viewers, to the patrons, and I say that because literally that is all that. What was I trying to say? The patrons are the only people that actually get the extra content. So I haven't been trying to make too much of a push because I don't want to be like, go check out my Patreon and then like just try to get everyone to go to there. But yeah, that is actually where all the extra content is going. So hello, is anyone in here? Say hello. Say hi. I'm sorry, I restarted the stream. I changed to this mic. We're all good now. Hopefully y'all can hear me fine. Hopefully y'all can hear me wonderfully because it's a pretty good mic for this. Hey, Morgan is in here. Cameron LaPlante. Hell yeah. So, how is everyone else's SHaTTERDaY? You can see Ronnie and Dexter back there. The doggos. That is a giant canvas. But what's going on? I mean, I haven't done the YouTube streams as much. I've just uploaded a video onto here, one that was very near and dear to my heart. Wish You Were Here. One of my favorite songs of all time ever, the Pink Floyd. It really always struck a chord with me, and especially with the desert scenery in my mind. So when I moved here to California, I cut it together with that song, along with Going to California, which I did try to upload to YouTube. It got deleted on here, though. Same thing with Paris. I just uploaded a Paris video this morning, but YouTube has already deleted it because YouTube is a fuckboy. That is very real. Whoa, is that infrared? That is really crazy. I think the iPhone just flashes infrared all the time to see if your face is there. Because look, if you like look at it, it unlocks. And then I guess it's not blinking anymore, but is it looking for it now? Oh, that is so crazy. You can see the infrared on that. Huh. Very interesting. Bro, you're being watched. Yeah, infrared is really weird because lenses can pick it up, cameras can pick it up, but our eyes cannot pick it up. That is not flashing for my eyes. It's not showing anything. Same thing with TV remotes. If you shine a TV remote into a camera, you can actually see the infrared. Check this out. How cool is that? But, obviously I can't see anything. That video was beautiful. You've already dabbed this morning, says Morgan. Okay, well, Morgan, I will have to get caught up with you, and I'm very glad that you liked that video. I had a great time doing that, and it was just such a lead up to it, and I'm excited to get back into more videos. Thankfully, Chewy has been a very nice thing in my life. Meeting Chewy was dope because we're gonna do a lot more collabs and hold each other accountable. I fucking love making videos, but there's just so many things that go into it, and with procrastination, mentality, there's so many things that comes to just being fully focused on something. And YouTube is really interesting because now I'm on my 3rd year and I fucking love it. I feel like for the first time I'm starting to get some opportunities, but just being in it for a few years, I'm already starting to feel a little jaded. I'm feeling like the jaded people I saw when I started up. I was like, oh, why are all these people so jaded? These people are idiots. Just lighten up, man. And now I'm like a couple years in, like, okay, trying to hang in there. But it's dope because we're starting to get the content that I've wanted to make, starting to be able to shoot with other people, have other people help out on set. So it's all very confusing. And now moving to the next level, making videos, it's feeling like starting all over again, because now I'm like looking at it completely differently. Now I'm thinking of how I can like have other people help during the video process. So the stuff coming to Stone Alone is gonna be really fucking cool. It's gonna be really fun, but it's also such a weird thing moving into the next level because it's so much uncertainty in the air. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I have no idea what the fuck I want to be doing, but I'm in a better position than I ever have been. So No complaints from me. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just keep making shit, and there's gonna be some cool stuff. You're always down for another dab. Don't get you wrong. This ain't 720p. What you mean, Tijul? You mean this ain't as in like it's worse or like it's better? Because it's a fucking live stream. I don't know what you're expecting here. Take your Paris video didn't work out today. You was there last weekend and it was so hype. Yeah, I don't know how you got into that. Did I accidentally leave it like unlisted or something? You saw it on Insta Story and you're pumped to watch it tonight just to see it was there. They deleted the Paris video just before you could see it. Okay. I mean, first off, yes, that does suck. YouTube did immediately delete that video, but also, do people literally not remember? Like, it wasn't a new video that I made. It was a video that I posted over 6 months ago, and I just wanted to repost here on YouTube. So that does suck that it didn't go through, because I did want to share that with y'all. I did want to share that with y'all, but don't worry. It's been posted for 6 months. I'm gonna link it right now. I opened up a new The WeedTube tab, but I already had one. Okay, I'm gonna link it down below, and then you guys can see that video, because that, along with the Wish You Were Here video, have been up for plenty of months, for quite a long time. They may have been forgotten about, though, and I do want to make more stuff for YouTube, and I don't want to, have to go back and forth on all this kind of stuff. I will make stuff specifically for YouTube. I will always be making stuff specifically for the WeedTube. I just kind of have to get back on my horse, get back into the swing of things, which I have been doing. It's such a weird thing. Like, right now I'm feeling good. I'm feeling in a good progression. But when you fall, when you sink, when something goes awry, like, it is really hard to get up. I do understand that. It's so fucking difficult. There's so much that goes into life and staying happy and staying focused and to feel like you're going anywhere at all and not just sinking. But right now I'm feeling all right. Actually, right now I'm feeling in a shitty spot, and like, I like how that keeps it real. Like, when I'm in a very shitty situation, I'm like, okay, well, obviously I can't be unrealistic. I have to look at the situation as is. I can't be cocky. I can't be arrogant. I just have to make it through. And I feel like that's why life throws me into a lot of ditches, because otherwise I would maybe be an asshole. But every time life throws me in a shitty situation, I'm like, okay, I got to remember where I came from. Got to remember who I am and where I'm trying to go, because that is the time that you have to be able to just keep taking one step forward. And now we have all this social media, we have all this shit. We can distract ourselves anytime we want. We don't have to be bored. But it's up to us to decide what we do with our lives. And, sometimes just binging it away isn't necessarily the way we want to use it. Although yesterday was so chill. Like, yesterday, I watched a bunch of movies. Like, it had been so long, and just soaking in some really good movies, like well-made movies, was exactly the thing I needed. So, everyone has different shit. For me, I just know, though, I'm like, once I start procrastinating, it's a deep, dark hole that can go for months and fucking months, and it'll be so hard to drag myself out of. So I just try to stay right above that procrastination. And honestly, it's Saturday now. Like, I've been doing more shit this Saturday than I have all week, because the whole week I'm just like, oh, I don't know, like, what am I trying to do? But now that Saturday, I'm like, fuck, if I don't do some shit right now, the whole day is going to go by. It's going to slip between my fingers, and that, to me, is the worst feeling. It happens so often. Since I moved here, too. Since that Wish You Were Here video, I got out here in California at the end of July. And, time just has been slipping between my fingers like sand. And it's interesting to understand it, because that's just life. And to be able to see it and think, well, what am I going to do about that? I just, time is going to slip away. Things are going to happen. But how am I going to be happy with my life and the decisions that I made? It's just an effort thing. Cameron says the video quality is fine. Stoner Vibes is in here. Yo, Stoner Vibes, good to see you. YouTube being lame. Hell yeah. Didn't realize it's the same video from the YouTube. Gonna watch it as soon as the stream is over. Hell yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to. And that's another thing, too. I want to make more videos for YouTube because I don't want to just, have to. Not have to, but I don't want to like deceive people too. Like they're like, oh hell yeah, new video, but it's just something that's already been made. Like the last video, the vape review, I didn't even post that to the WeTube. I think that was pretty fun, and I hadn't done that in so fucking long. But when I reviewed this vape, which by the way, it's actually a pretty good vape, that totally like reopened my eyes. I was like, oh hell yeah, people. I forgot that people enjoy this, and I really appreciate the support, because the support on this last video just makes me want to get back into this to make more stuff, because holy shit, you guys killed it. Y'all were dope as fuck with that. Glad you're humble. You love the videos. Thanks, yes, a story. And yep, I gotta be. I've been in too much shit, and even now it's the I'm glad things have worked out the way it has been, that the way that they have, because I'm forced to be humble, because now after 3 years, like 3 years of like, oh hell yeah, like living the way I wanted to, doing all this stuff. Now after arriving here, now things are starting to get tough, and I'm like, oh okay, shit, that's what life means. I thought the whole time coming up, I was like, oh, I totally understand life. I know what life is. I know what it means, all this shit. And then once arriving here, setting out on my own, I'm like, wow, life is fucking hard. It's very hard to even get up in the morning. It's hard to meet other people that are like-minded. It's hard to just make progress, to move forward, to get anything done, and to just not sink backwards. But that's the challenge of life. We have to take this challenge. And if it was not a challenge, it would be boring as shit. Because already, with how challenging it is, and having to pay for bills, and having to scrape this up, I feel like sometimes I'm still able to like put it off as, oh, whatever, like it's whatever. If it was any less intense, I wouldn't be doing fucking anything. But because of the necessities of life, because we have to keep ourselves alive and to get our resources, I think it presents a lot of challenges, which can be good. And don't get me wrong, fucking money problems are the fucking worst. Like that's why I feel like I guess grown up, I don't know, I like a big lesson that I've been learning over this past year is just all the money stuff, because I felt like I learned all of the psychedelic stuff, like mental stuff, being self-aware, overcoming your own kind of things, but money problems are a whole different thing. And overall, they do really fucking suck, and a lot of people would be happier if they did have their money problem solved. But I don't know, it's just such a small part of life, even though it seems like the whole thing. And for me too, like I literally am behind. I didn't pay for March's rent. Like I'm like 2 months back on rent. I have to pay this shit. Like I know how much this sucks, and it really fucking sucks. It's like eating me and like destroying me inside. But as it's happening, I'm grateful for it too, because if it didn't happen, would I have assessed my life? Would I have just kept going on in comfort until I just died and then waste my entire life and all of these years by doing nothing? Is that supposed to be good for life too? Because, it sucks. It sucks. Everything is so difficult. Everything is so hard. But if it wasn't hard, would anything happen? Would we be forced to look at ourselves in a different way? Or would we just stay in stagnation and not try to change anything? The struggle is so hard. It sucks. But if we weren't challenged, what the fuck would we do? We wouldn't do anything. We would literally not move a muscle. And I'm there a lot too. Like when you smoke up and you sit on a couch and get couch locked, it's hard to get up off there. But the next day you just think like, fuck, like, is that it? Is that my whole life? Is just sitting on the couch? And that's all that it's accounted to. So I think about that a lot. Like I love chilling on the couch. I love movies, but I just can't, not all the time, because that's not what life's all about. I just, anyways, let me find that Paris video. Yeah, good times, man. Good times Stoned alone, existential crises, and the dabs. Let's take a dab, shall we? Take a dab along with this existential crisis. Get a nice taster going. But I don't know, like I feel compelled to bring this up as well because I consider myself very happy. Like, and I even identified the things in my life that I wanted. I identified the things that I didn't want, and I'm at this point that is almost picture perfect with what I used to consider as, the grass is greener. Like what I used to consider picture perfect, I've now arrived at all of my visualizations, at all the things that I wanted in this life, and it doesn't feel any fucking different. I was blown away by that. I mean, like, I love it, and I really enjoy the day to day. I like that I can smoke with this freedom. I like that I'm able to express my voice and do this. Ultimately, I'm very happy, and happiness comes at more of these high level ideas, like inner things, like I'm happy because I get to make weed videos. Like, even if day to day I'm eating shit, like I have to scrape up this money, like everything sucks. It's very difficult to make this happen. I'm happy because I'm making that happen. Like the none of this shit in front of me makes me happy. Like, it's cool. I love being in a nice apartment, but none of this material makes me happy. Like this nice table, who the fuck cares? It's not going to be in my life a year from now. This nice bed, all the nice material things. I like them. I like them for the current moment, but they're not going to stick with me. They're not going to provide me with anything valuable later on. The only thing that is constant in my life and what is going to keep providing me with happiness later on in my life is just my video skills. Is just working on that and feeling that progress day to day, just knowing how to edit and knowing how to shoot something. So I want people to know that deeply inside, that is actually the thing that makes me happy. And when it comes to all the material stuff, it really feels exactly the fucking same. Like, I've been making videos since I was 13 years old. I literally still feel like that 13-year-old, like in my editor, just trying to get a little bit better, just trying to do the next step. And all of this other physical stuff around me, I just don't really have any interest. Like, I've had thousands of people come in and out of my life. Like, people aren't always reliable. People just drop in and out of your life. It's important to find a few people that you will continue talking to and to stick around with. And I don't know. Like, I can't answer the question for anybody. What will make you happy? What will make you less unhappy? Like, I can't answer that shit. But I can let you know that I'm in that spot too. Like, I'm still in positions of being very unhappy and depressed. That still happens. And to move forward from that is just an effort to, is just wanting to learn something new, wanting to get out there. And like, I haven't fucking left this house whatsoever for a week. So, that can happen easily too. But since I'm invested in this hobby, I haven't even noticed. Like, the years will go by. Like, even as I grow old, it literally won't feel like anything's changed because all I'll be focusing on is trying to make videos. And I don't know if that can apply to anyone else's life. I don't know if that's just some abstract shit that just makes everything more confusing. But I want you to know, I really do want you to know, have I tripped acid alone? Oh, yeah, bro. I mean, that, yes. The only way I got to these conclusions, and not the only way, I think I get into a whole thing with psychedelics too. I almost don't even want to bring it up anymore because every single lesson in my life, every single good thing in my life has come from my psychedelic experiences. In my psychedelic trips, I learned every single thing about myself and my own inner psyche that I ever could possibly think even existed. And I feel like I understand myself in tandem with the universe, and I feel connected with it. But it's also just a weird thing because I know people that trip and they don't take the lessons away. They just want to keep tripping. They're just like, oh yeah, tripping's dope, bro. But they don't want to take these hard realities, these harsh things that they faced, and bring them back into the real world. Nobody wants to come back into the real world and say, oh wow, I have been a piece of shit. I really haven't been using my life the way that I have wanted to. And I don't have to listen to other people's preconceived notions of what is good or success. But I know that I haven't been fulfilling my own, so I'm going to keep fucking working. And I feel like a lot of people don't come back with psychedelics with that kind of attitude, but I've tripped a lot, In 2016, that's when I tripped. I had a whole very experimental 6 months, and I feel like I learned everything about myself. And holy shit, this song, man. This is what I edited my Taiwan film with. This is the opening to Spirited Away, and then they mixed it with the lo-fi cut. Wow. But I don't know, there's like, I could literally just cry from happiness at all times that I'm just doing these videos, you know? I don't know how that can apply to your life, but I know a lot of people, like my brother, he's making decent money because he was in a shitty position in life. He's like, you know what? I got to fix myself. I got to go through college. I got to get the degree. And good for him. It really was a good 5 years. Like, he had a dedicated vision. And that's really all it is working towards a vision. So I saw my brother just be the fucking most hustle-based grind person I'd ever seen, and he was so fucking happy, even though everything was so difficult. Like, billions of things were coming at him. It seemed almost impossible, but he just scratched himself from like the bottom and just like, you know, I don't know, it wasn't that bottom, but you know, just in the hood, like doing shit, like sketchy shit. And then he went through the whole 4-year degree, became an engineer, learned all of that, and now he's an engineer making really good money. So that was a good stretch, but now that he's gotten there, now that he's making money, now he's just really lost again. And I feel that same way. So do I have any tips? Let me try to think of something that isn't just bullshit, because I have just been bullshitting. It's fun to just bullshit, and it's kind of like getting my own thoughts out too, that I may not have fully formed in a coherent way. So I'm mostly always just talking to myself. I'm kind of just trying to figure myself out, what would make me happy, and how to prevent my own destruction. So for tips, I don't know, that's so fucking hard. You know, I can't just be like, do this one step and you'll be happy. Like, I can't fucking say some shit like that, but have a goal, have something you're working towards. And I'm not saying that that's the end all either. My brother and I both had extreme intense goals. We came from Fargo, North Dakota, the middle of nowhere, and now we have reached our goals. We were so happy on the ride there, on the struggles and the progress of trying to get to our goals. And now that we're here, we both feel a little bit lost in completely different ways. I'm in the entertainment weed kind of area, and he's in engineering and making decent money. So, you know, when I talk, I don't want people to take away like, oh, you're in a weird position, you're a weed tuber and you get to do all this stuff, so anything you say doesn't apply to me because you got lucky or whatever. I get that. It is a weird fucking position. I wouldn't understand how I got here either, but just have something you're fucking striving towards that is worth it. That is worth grinding towards. Not worth getting, but worth grinding towards. Because for me, I just stepped up my weed ambitions a little more. Like, I don't even necessarily feel like talking about it, but I want to make Stoned Alone videos with like fucking Snoop Dogg in it. I want to have like Wiz Khalifa in it. I want to have like Seth Rogen in it. And when I thought about that, yes, that is like an impossible goal. That is fucking very difficult. But it's so difficult that I'm kind of excited by it. And that could keep me happy and occupied for years because it's so fucking hard to get. But for years, I could just think, oh, I'm getting a little closer. I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to wake up a little earlier. I'm going to just run a little bit faster. That really is it. Like, having a goal here, having a fucking goal. It doesn't matter if you get it. But if you're here, when you're walking towards this, you will feel happy as fuck. You may be depressed here. This is your goal. You will be depressed again when you reach it. But at least for this stretch, you will be happy as fuck. You will have a purpose. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. Everyone asks, what's the meaning of life? Well, I guess that is the question, right? Our meaning is our purpose. So we have to kind of come up with a meaning to have a purpose. And when you don't have a purpose, you feel like shit. Like, it just fucking sucks. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't want to have a purpose. Well, how the fuck is anything going to get better? Like, I get it. I get the cynicism route. I've been through the cynicism route. It doesn't get you anywhere better. So stay dedicated. And you don't have to be fake positive either. Like, oh, everything is all great. Like, just think, things could be worse. And in that way, that is positive. That things could be a lot worse. They could be so much fucking worse. And you have the ability to move towards anything that you want. So you may hate where you are, but you can make it here. You may not be happy when you make it here, but you can make this journey. You will be happy through this fucking struggle towards there. Hey, Tim, will there be a meet and greet Blaze in Europe? I would love to, if that was possible. I'm going to keep grinding. One day, we're going to get Stoned Alone out there on a sponsored trip. Because even Mac and Koala just went out there to Spanibus. So that opened my eyes up because that hadn't happened in the weed community before at all. And that's keeping me a little hungry too. I'm like, wait, I know these people. They were able to pull this off. I can fucking pull this off. So yeah, and I just want everyone to know I have been in a lower, kind of darker place for this past year. What you do with that information, I don't know, but I just want people to know not everything is all roses. You still have to fucking fight. I have not felt great this past year. It has been the worst and hardest struggle and era of Stoned Alone that there ever has been since starting. But I can't stop. If I stop, it will be stopped forever. I'm just trudging through some shit right now, but that's what it's about. Like we just got to trudge through some shit, and I don't want to. Whatever. I'm not trying to dramatize my own life. It's not like I have a very difficult life, but everyone faces difficulties, and everyone faces struggles, and emotions, and depression. I just want you all to know that I feel that with you as well, and it's not like I didn't have that. It's just we have to overcome. If there's depression, if there's anxiety. That's part of being human. We can all make it past that. Believe me, no matter how hard it is, how much faith you have, how much hope you have, it's possible. We can fucking do anything. Literally anything. Have you heard of DMT cartridges? Someone told me about that. That sounds ridiculous, though. What do? Just like puff down the whole cart to blast off? Like, like, do you get enough puffs to blast off? Or like, that's just weird. Come to Germany. I layovered in Dusseldorf, and the funny thing was I bought an entire ticket to Berlin, but I missed the flight. And that was actually part of this Paris video, which didn't go through. So I'm linking the Paris video down below. Copy link address. I finally got it, yo. But in this Paris video, I don't talk about it in the video, I don't think. It's just part of that trip. What happened was my Airbnb was 2 hours away from Paris. So it took me like hours and hours. I was lost as fuck, like trying to get to Paris's Airbnb. And I'm like hours into the countryside. And then my flight was at 4 a.m. the next morning. So I get to the countryside, I wake up, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I can't get out of here. I'm just in the countryside, just hours and hours from any civilization. It's literally impossible for me to get the fuck out of here. I was in like, I don't even remember what the city was called. It was just like this tiny little town. That was pretty funny. Oh man, Dusseldorf is like 50 kilometers from you. Oh snap. Yeah, I had a nice Braten beer. That Pilsner was fucking fire. Space Out Stoner A. You're going to do acid today, making it your 5th time. Your last trip was a bad one, so you're trying to get over it. All right, Ricardo. I have a playlist that just says either Tripping Out. I think I have a playlist called Tripping Out. Definitely check that out. I put a couple things I liked. Spaced Out Stoner is doing acid right now. Okay, y'all Stoned Aloners are getting lit. Remember, I don't know where you guys try to take your trips, but let's take it into a good direction. Both of y'all, Ricardo and Spaced Out Stoner, listen to some Alan Watts, okay? And I don't just say that just like randomly. Like, listen to Alan Watts, and there's this guy. Actually, I guess I can link it. There's this guy, Akira the Don, that makes YouTube lo-fi mixes with Alan Watts. So I'd say that is a complete must-do, not even optional. Wait, is Eric Kahn also live? Interesting. Okay, so Watts Wave, added it, copy link address. You have to do this, okay? Every couple weeks. Nice. Yeah, seriously though, on trips, you can go so deep. You can get so much out of a psychedelic trip. Like, I've gone down into the depths of my mind to see where it could go, how deep it goes, and just to feel out every single situation. Like, as ridiculous as it sounds to anyone that hasn't tripped, you can literally, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I can't even put fucking psychedelics into any kind of words. It's so fucking weird. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but one thing with it is you can go through every single scenario of your life, and it's not like, oh, you're just high and like, okay, how do I explain this? The thing about weed is it also is a minor psychedelic, so it's similar in ways, but it's not like you're just high and you're like, oh, okay, like what if I lived out this way? Like, in psychedelics, you can literally think about, okay, if I went down this other timeline, if I made one different choice, and then you could experience your entire life you made those choices because you were in your psyche and you know what you would actually react as. And I've gone down that hole of like, what if I got married? What if I got this kind of job? What if I did this? Like, I went through every single scenario that I could possibly think about my life going towards, and I ended up with Stoned Alone. I'm like, literally, even if I got another chance to live, even if I got 1,000 chances to live, no matter what, this is the pinnacle, peak route that I could take my life. This is the best timeline, the best thing that I could possibly do with my time here on Earth. And yeah, I think that gave me such a fucking strong purpose with Stoned Alone. For the year after that, it was like every second I was just thinking about it, like, oh man, Stoned Alone could spread the positivity, the love, and then that could amplify, and each one of those people could then spread that good message, and then the vibes will just go around and we can transmit the good vibes across the world. I was so fucking pumped about that. Now I'm a little more I mean, like, I'm still in the psychedelic state of mind. I'm a little more jaded and cynical. I'm like, I'm not going to change the world, but I know how to make some chill ass content for people that even if you're tripping, I think that's something people don't think about. Like, people just edit shit randomly, like whatever. But I've watched stuff while tripping before where it was like, oh God, oh, that was the wrong edit. Like, you're really fucking sensitive in that mindset, and everything you're soaking in is like a sponge, and you really are going to like take it into your subconscious with you. So Stoned Alone, I tried to keep it a safe place for tripping. You can binge watch the whole channel while tripping, and it's all good vibes, all the edits and everything and transitions. Like, I really literally thought about that, because I'm like, if you're tripping, I don't want anyone to come across a bad vibe or like anything like that. So I actually thought that out. So for every single 400 Stoned Alone plus videos, you can definitely trip with those. Music prescription, yeah, man, dissect reality. You really dissect reality. It's like your subconscious, your psyche, and it really is like your third eye. Like, you open up and then you see your subconscious and your psyche here. You see society and preconceived notions here. You see reality in space, time, all of that here, and then you just see the decisions that you made in your life leading up to it. And you're like standing back and you're like able to see it in front of you. It's not like you're in it and you don't know what the fuck is going on and you're just trapped and things are happening around you. It's like you're just step back and you look around you and you realize you've been here for all of eternity, before you were born and after you were born. It's just consciousness. And this body you're in doesn't necessarily even mean anything. You are what is witnessing it all. You're not even necessarily your brain, even, because you're able to step back and look at your brain and how it's functioning. You're just this force, this being, this consciousness in the air that is experiencing everything that you call life. You're killing me with the 100 hits video. Leonardo, y'all are killing me with the 100 hits video. If everybody goes to the WeedTube right now and checks out my latest video, it will be a little closer to 1,000 views, because when it hits 1,000, that is when 100 hits of weed is dropping. I actually haven't even edited 100 hits of weed. I totally procrastinated that shit, but it's all filmed. I got so fucking high during it, and since I don't even remember what the footage was like, I think it would be even more fun to edit it. But Everybody, I get it. Y'all are killing it. Or I'm killing y'all, but y'all are killing me. Everybody go share the weed tube. Tell everybody about Stone Alone on the weed tube if you want to see that 100 hits of weed video. You don't have to, but if you want to see that video, definitely tell everyone all about it. I have so many ideas in store, guys. Like, I want to make this stuff. We just need to make sure that people are seeing it. So tons of fucking stuff coming on the way. 100 hits of weed, giant hot boxes, crazy shit, edible adventures. It's all gonna happen. Your channel is honestly the best for tripping. Oh, Spaced Out Stoner, I appreciate that. And I mean, that's the kind of things that make me happy, you know? It's like whatever, anyone can say anything. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I made any money, if I made a bajillion dollars or completely broke. The thing that fulfills me, that keeps me going, like, oh fuck yeah, is I made these videos, you know, and they're still here. No one can take that away from me. Even if they're deleted, no one can take away from me that I actually made them, that I thought of it, shot it, I edited it, put my care and love into it, and put it out into the world. Nothing can fucking change that. And so I don't know, that's my suggestion. If people want to become less depressed, look for things like that. I can't explain for you what that is, but that's a start, right? Like if you paint something, that painting can be taken away, it can be torn up, but you remember the strokes. You put in that time, you put in your energy, you put in your vibe. And we just listened to an entire lo-fi playlist. Damn. And that's all you know, and that feels fucking good. Things like that are really the essence of life. You went into multi dimensions of reality. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yin Yang Tim. Don't know why, but every time you watch the stuff high, love the stuff. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that, dude. If you ain't yin, yeah, high, am I right, my man? Hell yeah, man. If you ain't yin, you han. You ain't smoking if you ain't choking. Hell yeah. How's the day going, Riley? My day has been going pretty chill, if I do say so myself. Please keep the stream up for a little so you can watch after work. Cheers. Oh, I will see. It's up for patrons, for Patreon. So yeah, you just smoked some Deems. Oh fuck. All right, Spaced Out Stoner. I mean, have fun, I guess. You're tripping acid and then doing DMT. That is one thing I never did, actually. And like, I don't know, cool, I guess. I I think it's funny with psychedelic stuff. Like, I used to be so into it, and I still am. But I can't even imagine doing that. Like, for me, I'm not scared of anything like in the physical world. Like, I'll jump off a fucking, building. Like, I'll do skydiving. But doing another DMT trip, I'm like, ooh, I might need another 10 years. Like I'm still coming down from my last DMT trip. I'm still trying to understand what the fuck that means. Which is funny because people say they want to like talk to God or, understand things like that. When you do, it doesn't really make any sense. I mean, like, you can literally actually come in contact with God or otherworldly resources through DMT, but it's not like you get somewhere and there's a conversation with a guy that looks like a human, like Jesus, and he's like, oh, hello, man, I have the answers and I speak in English. It's not like that. It's like, oh, what the fuck? All of my senses have turned into other senses and combined with all of the other senses that I didn't know existed inside of this multi-dimensionary room that is also a wormhole portal to all of the other worlds. It's crazy. This is accurate as fuck. Yeah. So I guess cool for Spaced Out Stoner. That's quite a while. That's cool that we're having people do that live in here because we can ask Spaced Out Stoner how the DMT trip was right afterwards. Yeah, never done DMT, but you fucked with sit-in shrooms for sure. Chewy. We definitely gotta make some of that dank shit. I think it's funny too, like, wow, 40 minutes. I can't decide if I was gonna like leave here and go to the other streams. Honestly, this is very chill though. You know what, YouTube? Y'all are keeping it chill. So I think I will do Instagram though. I'm just gonna keep you guys up as well. Chewy, oh, you sent me a bunch of texts. Sorry. um did you leave your APX? Oh, okay. I was in the uh um all right. Well, we definitely got to hit more of those locations because that's what I was thinking before I got here to California. I was like, can you imagine just all of the California film locations available right there? And then I get out here and I'm like, I don't want to fucking leave the apartment. I'm not going to leave this room. Why would I do that? It's comfortable. And I don't have to leave the house. No, it's funny how fast that happens because I was so intent on it right before I got out here. Like, oh, fuck, those real film locations, those LA scenes, we can actually do it. So I'm glad you're down with it because this is going to make a huge difference, I think, for both of us holding each other accountable because we both have abilities. We both have some skills. If you don't fucking make use of it, though, it's, nothing happens. Will you be able to watch this on YouTube, like, when it's finished? You will not be able to. So, sorry, but I will be putting... Ooh, let me think about this. I could just put this audio... Oh, done. All right, I'm putting this audio as a podcast later. I just have to think about the logistics of it. I will like strip the audio from this. I'll just download the MP4 from the stream later, and then I will strip the audio from it, put it on Anchor. So you will be able to listen to this, but not on YouTube afterwards. You'll have to search up the Inane Podcast on your favorite podcasting platform because it is on Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, Anchor FM, and anywhere else that you may find your audio. Oh, Spotify too. That's one it took a while to get onto. So check out the Inane Podcast. I'm gonna have Chewy up on the podcast soon as well. We're gonna start doing some shit. That's gonna be fun. What am I smoking on? And hitting some blueberry headband and Sojay haze sauce. Oh yeah. It's a waste. Yeah, we gotta fucking shoot in LA. Get the bridge shots, smoke blunts in every single cool spot. What's Anchor? Good question. Anchor is actually the platform that posts it onto all of the other sites, but it is its own podcasting platform where a lot of people are popping off on. You can record your podcast directly from your phone there. So yeah, Anchor FM is basically just an app with a fuck ton of podcasts. And when I upload to Anchor FM, it automatically posts to all the other sites for me. See you in a few. Hell yeah, wait, should I head down after a few? I guess it's saying late in the day. That's the fucking crazy thing about time is it can be early in the morning. You can get up early, but then that's just the first step. It gets harder after that because it's like 1 p.m. right now. I thought it was still morning. I'm not fretting. I'm not worried because it's Saturday and I got a bunch of stuff out, but that's just why there has to be effort, you know? Like, I feel it too. I just want to chill the fuck out. But if there's not extreme effort put in at every single second, nothing's going to happen and nothing will ever improve. That's just life. It fucking sucks. It's hard, but how else would we expect it to work? Every single second that you have a moment to seize, to make something happen, to just even clean the dishes or whatever, because that's actually how this morning went. I just needed like one fucking thing. I needed like a Velcro thing. And I walked outside and I ended up cleaning the whole apartment. And I forgot to grab the one thing I needed. But like when you have a moment like that, you have to seize it. Because then later I'm not going to want to fucking clean anything. And I'm going to be glad I'm sitting in somewhere clean instead of just like wallowing through dirt and filth and trying to make it like not as bad. You look like you're about to do some magic tricks. You don't even fucking know. I got all these cards. No, I don't know any magic tricks. What's thoughts on Xanax? Xanax, not good. I have done that before. Can say from personal experience. How would I describe it? It was the it was the strongest physical addiction that I had ever experienced in my life. I've tried a good handful of things before, of substances. Had my fair share of experimentation, and Xanax was the one that left me actually physically addicted. Like, I fucking hated it. I didn't actually even like the high. It just feels like you're dumb as fuck. Like, it erases your brain cells. You feel like an idiot, and it's not like being high where you're like, ah, chill. It's like you literally can't think. Like, you're trying to access your emotions and you can't think about the anxiety because it's like cutting it off. So, like, I get it. People want to stop their anxiety. I fucking anxiety too. Don't do that shit. It's not going to help. Like, it's only going to cause a million more problems. What's going to happen when you stop doing the Xanax? Then you're just fucking freaking out from having, natural life. Like, that's just weird. So Xanax, fucking please don't do that. A horrible thing. Can say from personal experience. So I'm not just some asshole that's like, don't do that. Like, I've done it before. It's the worst, worst and least worth doing thing that I've ever done. Spotify, that's fucking dope. Appreciate that, bro. I also have a playlist on Spotify because people ask me about that sometimes. Hell yes, true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I know people that have done Zans. I just, like, even with the people that have a good reason and they're like, oh, I have all this anxiety, I need to sleep. I'm still like, I'm not gonna be an asshole and be like, fuck you, but I'm still not buying it, for like, I've had people explain for a long time why they really needed the Xanax, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, you do you. I'm not gonna fucking tell you what to do, but I don't think you need that. Like, even after all these explanations, I don't know. I don't think anyone needs that. I mean, just smoke a fat indica. Like, is that not what you're looking for? It's going to be a lot easier to get, cheaper, and not going to leave you all fucked up. So just smoke some indica, dog. Like, I don't know. Obviously, that might not be the right answer for everyone, but then I raised this question. How the fuck could you possibly think that, oh, whatever. Okay, it's a whole other thing, but basically people say that they can't handle the weed, right? Well, a lot of times the weed is just making people introspective on themselves. So it's interesting that they can't like handle it. Like, they can't smoke and handle their actual thoughts and seeing their actual life. They're like freaking out, like, oh shit, oh fuck, I can't do that again. But it was just kind of truth because they may have ventured so far away from who they actually were. They may have just listened to society and fit themselves into a hole like that. And when they smoked, they realized it and they're like, oh shit, what the fuck? I don't want to think about that. I just want to go back to my 9 to 5 and not have to worry about this shit. And I think that's where Zans come in for a lot of people because it just like, you don't think about it. Like, it just cuts you off. Just fucking, I don't know. It's a really weird thing. And it blows me away that I've had people say that they'll do the Xanax, but they can't handle weed. And I'm like, oh, you are definitely not fixing that problem. You're just kind of sticking band-aids on. Because maybe with the weed, it's introspective. You kind of look into it like, oh shit, maybe my life is fucked up. What do I do to make it less fucked up? But the Xanax is like, oh, my life's fucked up. Ha, not thinking about it anymore. Problem solved. So that's the best I can explain it. I would like to keep talking about it. I'm done on it though. I'm good on talking about Xans. You don't need it unless you're really off your shit. Yep. And I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell too, like, what is off your shit? Like, just whatever. Pharmaceuticals are fucking tough because they're so embedded into our culture and they're legal. That's the fucking problem. You can't really like have a realistic test when the testing facility is owned by the people selling the drugs that they're testing, which happens in weed too. I'm not saying that's just a pharmaceutical thing. In weed, all the time, the testing facilities that test for pesticides, for THC content, all that shit, a lot of the times the testing lab is owned by the weed that they're testing. So they just get good ass results because they own the lab and they fake the results to have really good shit. That happens a lot too, especially with big brands like distillate brands, whatever. You just explained your life in the past year. Damn, Ricardo. Well, hopefully, it's a good introspective thing, hopefully you move forward from this point, because we all have shit, we all have shit we go through. It's not like you're a bad person if you fall into a hole like this, but we got to actually talk about this. We can't just be like, oh, Xanax is great, like fucking give it to all the kids. The anxiety is too high, we need to give all the kids Xans. Like, that is not going to help anything whatsoever. Anxiety is natural, and if you're struggling, don't go straight to a pill or even weed. Exercise and eat healthy. Yeah, Fun Tub, that's interesting you mentioned that, because for me, I might even smoke a little too much weed, because, and that's why I'm glad it's weed. That's why I'm glad I'm not doing other things, because I've tried other things before and it's such a slippery slope. Even with weed, I smoke too much goddamn weed sometimes. A lot of times I know I have to do something. I'm like, literally, this is all I have to fucking do. If I did this one thing, I'd be done. That's like, I only have one fucking thing to do. And then I'll say, oh, I'm just going to smoke weed instead because, it's easier. So I'm fucking there all the time too. That's why I bring this up, because if that was replaced with Xanax, I think that would be an what do you call it? Unbreakable cycle. Because with weed, at least, whatever, you're just high. You can still do stuff. You can cut it out. You can, wait till later. With Xanax, I mean, it would be hard. Like, if you did that every single day, to just take a single day out of that routine, it would be very difficult, because you'd physically be craving it and waiting for it. But yeah, I mean, I have crazy fucking anxiety. I'd like to mention that to people, because I found my point of life where it's like I'm around the people I wanted to be around. I'm around very chill people, stoners, smoking weed, all this shit. My anxiety is still fucking crazy. It's gone up since joining all of this. So what do I say to that? People might be like, oh, okay, you have anxiety. What do you do for it? I don't do shit, because without the anxiety, where's the momentum? It's like, it's funny that whatever. I don't have like a live audience or anything. It's just funny anytime you bring up anxiety, like the immediate thing is like, how do you solve it? How do you stop it? Why are you trying to stop it? Why are you trying to solve it? It's like you're trying to solve happiness. Because think about that. People want to be happy. Happiness is great, but it's only one emotion. If you're feeling down, it might not necessarily mean that you fucking need a bunch of prescriptions and that you got into this crazy position in life. If you're feeling down, it might literally just mean that you're experiencing another emotion other than happiness, which is not new. It's not new that there's been other emotions other than happiness, but people act like it's new. Anytime people experience something other than happiness, they're like, oh, what the fuck is happening? I need help. This is crazy. And it's like, well, how do you think it's been to be a human since the dawn of time? Any single human since the very dawn of time, except for psychopaths, feel that shit. So it's not like whenever you feel sad, like, oh my god, how is this happening to me? I can't believe it. I need help. People need to come help me because I feel bad. No, you're feeling life. It sucks. I hate it too. What else are you gonna do? Just only be happy every single second of all time until the end of eternity? That shit's absurd. Gang, bro, dropping that SHaTTERDaY knowledge. Anxiety is definitely natural. That's why it's so common. Yeah, it's funny that it's a whole conversation now, because coming from like an Asian culture, it's like, yeah, we've had anxiety for 3,000 years. That's part of life. You're not gonna solve it with 3 easy tricks, It's just gonna be fucking part of living. Just gonna have to figure out to live with it. Momentum is a motherfucker. It absolutely is. Someone says Xans for everyone. Yeah. Yo, you just start running again and you swear your consumption has dropped to half nearly. Ooh. I should do some more running as well. Last week, I got some good running in, and a big thing is like, it's just control over life. This happens to me. I slowly lose control, and it happens very fast. It's like, so let's say food. If I'm not paying attention to my food, that's one thing. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm hungry or whatever. But if my food is on point, then I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to start doing more exercise because I have the food. So I start running, I start doing more exercise. As I'm doing more exercise, I'm like, oh, okay, I have more energy. I start waking up earlier. As I start waking up earlier, I start getting more shit done. I start having morning routines. I start doing yoga. I start getting all that shit in. I start reading. I do my Spanish in the morning. But as soon as I slip on one of these things, like, oh, I forgot to buy food. I was lazy. I forgot to make the food. Now that I don't have the food, well, shit, I'm not going to fucking run. I don't have anything to eat. I stopped doing the exercise. Once I stop doing the exercise, I don't have any fucking energy. I can't be waking up early. Once I'm not waking up early, I don't have any time to read. I don't have any time to do Spanish. So that happens to me. That's like a constant, like every single day is fighting that. And that is my life's journey for the past 6 months is, okay, I'm on point. I got this. I got this. I got this. Oh shit, I lost this. I lost this. I lost. It's a constant fucking battle. And it's annoying how hard it is for the tiniest things. Like for me, it's the fucking food. It's the easiest, simplest goddamn thing just to keep myself fed. But if I slip a little bit on that, my whole life goes to shit. I have to slowly crawl my ass through glass. Insight. Like I haven't talked about that bit as much. That is literally like my full life is fighting like those things. It's like once you get those things in order, you're unstoppable. It's easy to do the things that you need to do, but it's also very easy not to do the things, and that's why procrastination happens. Not that the things were so fucking hard that we didn't do them, but because it was also easy not to do them. So yeah, that shit is all very real. So I'm not in a position where I can tell people like, oh, I'm fucking hustling, I'm running and all this shit, but every day is a struggle to try to get to that point, to try to be our best selves. And I don't know, everyone is different. And there's a lot of points in time where people take this too far. They're trying to do things that they're not going to fit into their routine. You know, it's about being realistic. Like, it's possible for anyone to have a crazy packed day. But what's really important is having a schedule of every day getting things done. Like, you could run super far one day and then just not run for a month. But if you just run a little bit each day and a little bit more, that is life. That is what it's about. Just that little fucking tiny bit more, pushing yourself to just get that extra step. That's what life's all about. And as hard as it is, when you don't make that step, you feel everything shift back. You go backwards. Everything fucking falls apart. It's very real. Joe Rogan said when he works out every day, he's not anxious and doesn't get upset at anything. Yeah, it releases it. Oh shit, I need to get outside and do this energy. I'm releasing it through like this podcast form, but people don't realize how much fucking energy we have. Like we have crazy fucking energy. And when you go exercise, you just have this release and you're like, oh yeah, that was within me. And as you're just releasing everything, stress is not a big thing. Like you're not anxious, you're not stressful if that morning you're just maxing your fucking body out until failure, pushing weights until you couldn't push a single pound more, and then you still do a couple reps and you just fucking push past that mental state. Then for the rest of the day, you're chill. You're not going to have a problem. Like from traffic, you're not going to be mad. Like you just went through the most stress that your body could physically handle. So you're not going to be worrying about these lame people on the street or someone that just says something condescending to you. Like you'll be able to push past that. Someone says, been sick, just woke up from a nap. Glad it's in time to see me live. Hell yeah, Decotton. Hope that was a wonderful nap. Leonardo is in here and says, you feel on the food every day. It's a challenge to eat in the morning. Yup. That shit is so very annoyingly difficult, but it's like the whole definition of life. Like that's how it goes. That's how it be. You do need to hear this shit, dude. Hey, well, I'm glad to hear because yeah, I mean, I'm not better than anyone else. It's not like I've even necessarily been doing that much, but this is just important things to keep in mind because we all get to points in life where it's hard, where we're being fucking pushed down, fallen over many times, but got to keep going. You always have to keep going. You're going to go tap into that energy. Thanks for the inspiration. Hell yeah, Leonardo. Tap into that natural energy that's flowing within you. You can fucking crush it, and you will feel how wonderful it feels to actually push it. And there's a lot of times too where I'm like, I don't want to fucking do anything. And I'm like, but if I don't do anything, then what's the point of anything? It's like, I don't want to do anything. But we just gotta start one step at a time. Like this stream, this to me is chilling. This is like relaxing. But I also thought might as well do this during this hour because I have this free time on Saturday, but might as well also kind of like talk to some other people, get this energy out there, spread it out. And it's also the hardest thing too, because I never want to fake motivate. I don't want to be any of those bullshit kind of people. There's a lot of bullshit motivation kind of stuff out there. So like I want to actually be realistic, It's like let's think about it. What would actually make you a little bit happier? What would actually make this life a little bit lighter? What would make this experience less difficult? Let's move towards that. Let me post up this video to the WeedTube. I'm posting actually a video to the official the WeedTube channel. We're gonna do a challenge with every single day leading up to the launch. So we're gonna be doing a big promo for that. I just shot a thing for it, posting it on the WeedTube as the front page. Video title. TWT at Champs Vegas. All right. Oh man, I feel like I should write a whole description here. Oh, that's a whole thing. I think it's funny too, like the multitasking. I definitely want to multitask right now, but I think I will just be ending the stream. It has been an hour. Appreciate everyone so much for joining in here. I'm going to Instagram right after this, so I'm not leaving y'all, but I do have to hop out of this stream. Appreciate every single one of y'all for joining in here and the people listening on all the podcasting platforms, because I don't know. I hope that it's still an enjoyable podcasting medium, because I do address a lot of people's usernames and stuff. I hope that's not like weird when you're listening on a podcast. Like, what is happening? But whatever. It's multitask. Got the stream in, got the live, and got the podcast. And now I really have to pee. Lil STD joined and says, "What's going on?" Ash Gang joined and says, "I just hopped on." No, I'm very sorry. I'm leaving now. I will be on Instagram, and this will be posted as audio to all of your favorite podcasting platforms under the Inane Podcast. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful SHaTTERDaY. I didn't even dab during that stream. That was an hour long. I'll dab on Instagram. Bye. Someone says, "Don't leave." I'm leaving. Bye. Yes, end.